Today we're going to be looking at a 3-round mock draft. This one's from NFL.com. We're going to be looking at the landing spots for fantasy football, but we're going to be looking at the entire mock draft. So if you want to look at the picks for your team, stay tuned. You're going to see them. But before we dig into this, you need to click that subscribe button because we're talking NFL draft every single day on this channel. We're talking about Dynasty Fantasy Football and rookie drafts every single day on this channel. We're also talking about high school recruiting. Click that button. Stop missing out, especially if you want to be a better Dynasty Fantasy Football player and win your rookie drafts. But we got a 3-round NFL mock draft over here at NFL.com. We need to look at this. We've been doing a lot of mock drafts on the channel. I'm going to start running through these a little bit quicker, especially some of these picks are the same. But this is our first 3-rounder so far. And I was excited because we just did a 2-rounder. We did another 2-rounder. This is our first 3-rounder. And the reason why they did a 3-rounder is because they got the profiles of these players loaded onto the database here for NFL.com, because I've been looking for them every single day. And they're just like, hey, let's do a mock draft with them so people know the players are loaded. And that's the reason why. So let's take a look. So the first pick coming off the board, I did not know that guy's name. He wrote this up. But first player off the board, Caleb Williams. And this draft pick is very standard for mock drafts. We're seeing a lot of mock drafts with Caleb Williams on the board. And that just makes sense. That just makes sense. We're expecting him to go to the Bears. Dynasty Fantasy Football, he's locked in as the 101 pick. He's going to be the top player off the board in Superflex, unless someone has a wild hair from Marvin Harrison Jr. or somebody is a huge LSU fan or someone really likes Drake May. But the odds are 97% of the time, 98, 99, Caleb Williams is the 101. For the Bears, they get their quarterback. It's him or Justin Fields. I feel like the media is leaning more towards Caleb Williams right now. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, Bears fans, but we're moving on. Next pick, and the Commanders go with Jaden Daniels. And I called it, a month or so ago when we started doing these, that Jaden Daniels is going to start getting mocked to the 2nd overall pick to the Commanders. That was going to happen, and that wasn't going to be a taboo thing anymore. And that was very early in the process. Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. We do have some pieces there. Overall, the Commanders got a lot of work to do with this roster. Dynasty Fantasy Football, 103 range. I don't know if anyone's going to push him over Marvin Harrison Jr. unless they're in a league that juices up the quarterback position in Superflex. Marvin Harrison Jr. is up there when it comes to value. That being said, Jaden Daniels to the Commanders means he's going to be one of the top options still in Dynasty Fantasy Football when it comes to rookie drafts. Next pick off the board, and we got a surprise pick. Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Bears. That means we got Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. together in a trade with New England. We got some upside here with Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best wide receivers to ever come out for the draft, projected as a generational talent. And people are going to want to stack this pair together in Dynasty. I guarantee you. Marvin Harrison Jr. going to be the 102 in Superflex, 101 in some leagues, 101 in 1 QB. And even with him going to the Bears, I think everybody's going to be in love with Marvin Harrison Jr. Even if he went to the USFL, wherever he goes, he's going to hold that draft stock. But we're moving on to the next pick here. And the Broncos select Drake May. They got to get better at the quarterback position. They got some pieces there. It's starting to age, though. Drake May can develop in this offense. Drake May is going to get some opportunities. I kind of like the landing spot for him here. I think Drake May is going to hold some draft capital in Dynasty. I think it's going to bump him down a pick or so. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a little bit more juicy with the Commanders. But Drake May going to the Broncos, pick your poison with these quarterbacks once you get Williams off the board, and you're going to roll with it. Superflex, it's just going to hold its value. Bryce Young's holding his value right now in startup drafts. Drake May getting drafted at the 104. He's going to hold his value for a bit. Moving on to our next pick here at the 105. The Chargers draft Brock Bowers. I see this happening. I see this team wanting to get better at the tight end spot. The offensive line position is going to be very interesting because you got a lot of good guys on the board here, but it's so deep. The tight end position, though, not near as deep. You don't get a prospect like this every single year. Brock Bowers, I think, is a good selection here, and his value in Dynasty is going to continue to stay juiced up. Top tier first round pick. Moving on, and the Giants get their edge rusher, and we're going to move on quickly on the offensive line and the defensive players because we are analyzing for fantasy football here. Next, Titans get Joe Alt. Next, Falcons go cornerback. Next pick here, Patriots go offensive tackle. Next pick, the Jets go offensive tackle. Next pick, the Vikings go edge. With the next pick, Malik Neighbors to the Cardinals. And you miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr., you know what? You still get Malik Neighbors, one of the top wide receivers to ever come out for the draft, a top-tier prospect. He's really going to juice up that offense. People are going to be spending up for him in Dynasty Fantasy Football. We move on, though. We're moving on to the next pick. J.J. McCarthy to the Raiders. We got Devontae Adams there. We got some pieces there for him to develop with. He can throw the rock. He can sling it. I wish he had more experience. But again, 13th pick overall. He's not falling into the second round. He's going to be drafted in the middle to late first round in Superflex leagues. Moving down to our next pick, Rome Odunze to the Saints. Imagine him paired with Chris Olave and then pushing it downfield. This is a great landing spot. A great landing spot for fantasy football. Juices his value. And all of a sudden, this first round for fantasy, up there. One of the best first rounds we've seen. I like Rome Odunze. I love him in a landing spot like this. Next pick, going down the board. Defensive tackle for the Colts. Center for the Eagles. 17th overall for the Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr. He has a quick release package, can get downfield, can stretch the field, and this is a wide receiver that's going to add some wrinkles to this offense. First round pick paired with Trevor Lawrence. I like him a lot. I think we got a ton of upside here for fantasy football. One of my favorite wide receivers in this class. Bengals go offensive tackle. Rams go cornerback. Steelers go linebacker. And the Dolphins get a tight end here. First time I've seen him mocked in the first round. JT Sanders going to the Dolphins. He's going to get juiced up the board in Dynasty. Probably early second round pick, late first round pick. It really depends whether your league is tight end premium or not. But his value is going up. Anybody that goes to the Dolphins is going to get that Dolphins privilege due to how this offense is ran. JT Sanders in fantasy is going to get the Dolphins privilege. Moving on up, pick 22, the Seattle Seahawks go defensive tackle. Pick 23, the Texans go offensive tackle, getting Guyton off the board. Cowboys go offensive tackle. 25, Chiefs go Keon Coleman. I've seen him mocked there a few times, and he's very good at the catch point. Very good at bringing in contested catches. Could be a good fit here with the Chiefs. He's going to get that Chief privilege here in the draft. We're seeing the Chiefs trade up to get him. That's going to add more value to his stock. He's going to be a first rounder in rookie drafts, probably in the middle or the late part of the first round, depending on how he's being valued with the Chiefs and how your league mates like his player profile. Moving on down here, the Bills get their edge rusher at 26. The Cardinals come back. They get a cornerback at 27. Mitchell did well at the Senior Bowl. Pick 28, Bucks. They get their edge. Coming on down to Lions. They get their edge. 30th pick off the board. The Ravens go guard. 31st pick off the board. Niners get a safety. 32nd pick off the board. Finishing the first round here. Packers go cornerback. All in all, when we look at the first round here of this draft, very good for rookie drafts. We're getting a lot of value. If you're in the latter part of the first round, you're going to get a good player. Middle part of the first round, you're getting a good player. Quarterbacks coming off the board. The wide receivers are looking nice. Going into good situations here. Very juicy situation here when we look at Dynasty rookie drafts this year. And I hope you got some first round picks because you're going to be FOMOing it out if you don't. And I hope you got some second round picks because we're going to see some prospects come off the board. So we're going to go here to the second round here. Bo Nix going to the Vikings. Of course, this is a great landing spot. Justin Jefferson and company. Blake Corum going to the Patriots. And this is a high spot for a running back. Blake Corum, one of the better running backs in this year's class. Very dependable. He is a Patriot-type wide receiver. Even though the Patriots aren't the Patriots anymore, they don't have Bill Belichick there. He just screams Patriot because he's a very efficient workhorse-type running back. Moving on to our next pick. Cardinals go center. Commanders go edge. Chargers go cornerback. Titans go cornerback. Another running back coming off the board. Saquon, not with the Giants with this pick. Jonathan Brooks with the Giants. He's going to hold some value in Superflex. These running backs are going to jump up the board. If your league's going running back crazy, some of these running backs are going in the first round. Jonathan Brooks coming back from that ACL, has some juice to his game, is going to be used in the passing game. We saw that with Saquon Barkley. The backups there weren't getting it done either when Saquon was out. He's going to be getting workload early in his career once he's ready to rock and roll. AD Mitchell going to the Commanders, getting paired with Daniels here at quarterback. We're going to see some upside here. Going to be a great wide receiver to pick up in the second round. Can get downfield, get you that ADOT. We got a good rookie quarterback there. Could be a good pair for the future. Next, Packers go offensive tackle at 42. Panthers go linebacker at 43. Falcons go edge. 44, defensive tackle for the Raiders. 45, guard for the Saints. 46, Johnny Wilson to the Colts. Big wide receiver who can get downfield. This is really predicated on whether Michael Pittman's going to be there. He's going to be there. He's going to be there. I know he's a free agent. He's going to be there. But Wilson's going to add another target to the passing game. They got Downs there for fantasy football. He's going to drop down the board a little bit due to there being a lot of mouths to feed, due to AR-15 developing in the passing game. But you got a wide receiver here with some upside. He's going to be a big threat downfield. He's going to be a threat in the red zone. And you're going to catch him at a cheap price tag. Next, we're looking down. And safety for the Giants. Jaguars go offensive tackle. We got an ad. Bengals go cornerback. Michael Penix to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks get their cornerback. We got some pieces here for the Seahawks that could allow Penix here to develop. We got DK Metcalf. We have Jackson and Njigba. We have two very good running backs. This should boost his value here in Superflex. Probably pushes him in the first round. Probably pushes him at the worst, top half of the second round, 201, 202, 203 at the worst. But people are going to be looking at this profile here, getting drafted at 50 overall. And then you look at Will Levis last year, getting drafted at the top of the second round to the Titans. What situation do you like better there? Penix with Seattle, or do you like Will Levis with the Titans? Someone's going to take a stab at him. Are you willing to do so? Or are you going to load up a wide receiver and running back, since these running backs are going at some hot spots here? Offensive tackle to the Steelers. Rams get an edge. Eagles get an edge. Moving on down here, Browns get a linebacker. Dolphins get a safety. Cowboys pick up Jalen Wright here, and we know they need a running back this year. Pollard wasn't getting it done last year. Are they going free agency? Are they pulling the trigger in the second round? I don't see it happening unless somebody falls. That being said, Wright's dynasty stock is going up. It's going up. He's going to get that Cowboys privilege. Might get in the first round. He might get in the first round. This first round rookie draft with this draft is going to get juicy. I hope you got the 201, 202, 203 because a player's going to fall to you. Moving down to pick 57. Tampa Bay goes guard. Packers stay in Wisconsin and they get Braylon Allen. Big running back prospect. Another running back that could jump in the first round with this landing spot. We got the veteran running backs. Might be on the move here soon. That being said, Allen could be getting the workload here. This offense looks like it's going to be humming for a while. This is a great spot for him. Might be the top running back of these rookies here, considering his profile, considering where he's going, considering the upside. Braylon Allen going 58 here to the Packers. If he falls to the second round in ADP, that's going to be a tremendous value here. The wide receiver position's cooked up, but man, these running backs, if it profiles as this when we get to the draft, with running backs going in the second round, when we saw running backs just fall out of the draft last year, with it being a more dominant running back class, we could be seeing some running backs jump in some value here in Dynasty. Moving on down here, cornerback for the Texans. And Kool-Aid went in the first round to the Texans in a mock draft like a week or so ago. Texans fans jumped in the comments and said, nah. Let me know with this pick. Let me know. But we're seeing Worthy to the Bills. Speedster will run in the 4.3s, getting paired with Josh Allen. You're going to want that. You're going to want that. This is a sexy draft. Probably too sexy to be true. Let's just call it as it is. Ladd McConkey to the Lions, another sexy spot there. That being said, him and Amon-Ra St. Brown taking over the short and intermediate parts of the passing game. JMO here taking the top off the defense, stretching the field, letting these wide receivers work underneath. Might be better for the NFL than fantasy, but he might develop into that role, considering Amon-Ra St. Brown's taking a good 30% share of the targets. And we got Sam Laporta hitting, but Ladd McConkey would add some depth, would add some talent to this passing attack for sure. Troy Franklin to the Ravens. Good asset for the Ravens. Looks like they're going to be moving on from Rashad Bateman, but Troy Franklin is going to stretch it downfield, gets them another good pass catcher for fantasy. You're going to catch him at a discount. He's going to be falling into the second round, considering what we're seeing with these running backs, probably middle to late part of the second round, because people are not going to want to touch the Ravens passing attack because it can be pretty jumbled up from week to week. That being said, Troy Franklin, a good talent for the price tag that you're getting in Dynasty. Moving on down, and the Niners go tight end, picking up a Kansas State guy. That being said, when we look at the tight end spot, he's probably going to go in the third round or so. We're going to see him fall in the draft a little bit. Even though he's getting that second round draft capital, we're already seeing the second round get juiced up in this draft. That being said, really depends on what the third round's looking like. For me, I'm probably fading and just going cheap with the tight end. Offensive tackle for the Chiefs, and that looks like that's it for the second round. This draft is too good to be true, because usually when we get to the second round of rookie drafts, it's not this juiced up. This second round of the rookie draft that we're in, considering if this was the real NFL draft, it'd be worth as much as the first round in many other rookie drafts. Due to where the running backs went, due to their draft capital, we're seeing some good landing spots for the wide receivers. We had some quarterbacks get jumped up there in the first round. Michael Penix getting a good landing spot. That's a developmental pain point there. But again, with Superflex, people will pay the price. Moving on to the third round, let's go through this quick here. Defensive tackle, Panthers. Defensive tackle for the Cardinals. Cornerback for the Commanders. Tez Walker to the Patriots. He's going to get faded into the third round at this point. He is a deep threat. He'll get that ADOT. Maybe he can be a splash play machine here. Defensive tackle to the Chargers. Roman Wilson to the Giants. Him going day 2. That's in the possibility. That's in the realm of possibilities of him going into the third round. I think he kills the NFL Combine. I think he's going to increase his draft stock. I don't think he's a great fit for the Giants. I think they got a lot of speed. I think they got a lot of slot receivers. I think this is going to be some weird competition. For the value here, he's probably going to be in the third round. I think the price tag is going to be worth the squeeze. Estimate to the Cardinals here, he's going to see some upside. His value is going to jump up there into the second round. Third round draft capital to the Cardinals. You see where he can have a pathway to fantasy relevancy. Could be productive for you. Safety to the Jets. Cornerback to the Detroit Lions. Defensive tackle to the Falcons. Theo Johnson to the Bears. He moves well for a tight end. Could be a good landing spot for him. Again, tight ends take some time to develop. He's a third rounder. A guy that I want for cheap, late third, early fourth if he's there. I don't know if that's a possibility with what we're seeing off the board. But still, when it comes to tight ends and rookie drafts, especially how the board's laying out right now, I'm not paying up unless they come to me at a discount. Linebacker to the Cardinals. Guard to the Raiders. Linebacker to the Eagles. Malachi Corley to the Falcons. And we're getting a slot receiver to the Falcons. Big juiced up slot receiver and get you yards after the catch. Might not be a great fit for fantasy football due to Drake London and Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. But still, for the Falcons, could be a good move. Could be a good upside play in the third round as well for fantasy football, because a lot of people love his draft portfolio. Xavier Legette to the Bengals. Very interesting wide receiver prospect. He's going to have good size and just athleticism. a good landing spot for him because he has the opportunity to win on the outside with his size adjusted athleticism. Does not have to be the wide receiver one here, obviously, with Jamar Chase. Could develop into the role, could develop into be a fantasy relevant asset. Probably going to be a late second round, early third round pick, even though with him going to the Bengals, he is a third rounder. He is a guy with a questionable portfolio, but still there's a lot of upside here to tap into. Good draft pick here for the Bengals though, if you're looking at talent versus price at 80 overall. At 81, we're looking at linebacker for Seattle, cornerback for the Colts at 82. At 83, the Rams go offensive tackle. At 84, the Steelers go cornerback. And the Browns draft Trey Benson at running back, getting more depth, getting more talent at the running back position, considering we do not know what Nick Chubb's going to be looking like going forward. Benson has good size adjusted athleticism. Should be getting some good draft capital in Dynasty rookie drafts. Should be showing some upside here, but could also be a good value play in the second round of rookie drafts, maybe early third round, but I think he gets juiced up a little bit due to him being a running back. And the Texans go tight end, and I think this is going to be a good pick for rookie drafts. I like the Texans. I like their offense. We're late into the third round. You can just throw darts into the wind at this point. With a tight end going to the Texans, and I'm looking at fantasy football, I like the volume here. I like the upside, and this is more of a long-term play. You're catching them around the third or fourth round of rookie drafts. Really depends on what else is on the board, what the running backs are doing, but we're also so late into the third round. We're kind of cooked at the wide receivers. We're kind of cooked at the running backs, and we're just shooting our shots at this point. Cade Stover to the Texans kind of perks my ears up due to the price at this point. Center for the Cowboys, edge for the Packers, safety for the Bucks, edge for the Cardinals, cornerback for the Packers, guard for the Lions, defensive tackle for the Ravens, offensive tackle for the Niners, defensive line for the Packers. Moving down here to the Jaguars, we're going edge. And then Malik Washington for the Eagles, a downfield threat with ball skills, underrated asset, is going to be a good guy to get in the third round of rookie drafts at this point. Ricky Pearsall to the Niners, a lot of competition there. Looked good at Senior Bowl, good at the catch point. Could be another upside play in the third round of rookie drafts, maybe even fourth round. Defensive tackle to the Bills, kicker to the Rams, linebacker to the Commanders, running back Marshawn Lloyd to the Buccaneers. This kills Sean Tucker. Marshawn Lloyd's good in the passing game. Can really be a good backup here behind White. Got some upside here. Probably a good third round pick in rookie drafts now that I look at it. And that's it for the draft. And what I think about this mock draft for Dynasty Fantasy Football. First round solid, second round solid, early part of the third round, you're getting some guys as well. This could be a juiced up rookie draft that we're looking into, but I also see this mock draft as being overrated on some of these players. I don't feel like we're going to get into the middle of the second round and feel that great. I think this is going to be a great rookie draft class, but I feel like we're a little bit over the moon on some picks. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.